Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday, so this is kind of the day that I don't have anything specific to talk about. I am on my way to my work returns program. For those that aren't familiar with that, that is an intensive outpatient program that's one step below partial hospitalization. And what partial hospitalization is where you go from like 9 to 3. It's just like a half day, but you get to go home at the end of the day, and it's one step below inpatient. I have done partial hospitalization before. I found it really effective for me. I didn't think at the time that I needed the work returns program. However, after going back and dealing with a lot of stress from basically returning to the workforce and trying to find my place when I'd been gone for about a month, maybe a little more than a month, and also still dealing with the loss of my mother, and taking care of my father and my own family. It was really, really more stressful than I thought, and I ended up out of work feeling ill to my stomach. I have IBS. For those that don't know, that is a gastrointestinal syndrome that is triggered by stress, and it's not fun. It's not fun. So I talked to my psychiatrist after having a mental breakdown the week before I was supposed to go back to work, and she recommended that I really, really do the work returns program. In fact, I would say she insisted that I do the work returns program. So here I am. It's my second day. On Monday we talked about suffering, so today should be interesting. They're also going to go over my treatment plan, so that should be fun. So I'm on my way now, and I will tell you more about it when I get done today. Alright, so day is over. I went through my session at Work Returns, and then we went out to lunch at a Korean barbecue place, which I've never done Korean barbecue before, so that was a lot of fun. And very, very filling, and surprisingly low points for Weight Watchers. I was really, really impressed with that. And then we did an errand for my father, and then we came home. I watched a little bit of YouTube before I started recording, and now it's time to record the video. And a lot of that was I was trying to figure out what I was going to say. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit about the subject, if not exactly what we said in Work Returns, but the subject we were talking about. And we were talking about karoshi, which is a Japanese term for death from overworking, which is a very real thing over there. And we were talking a lot about work stress and what stresses us out. What can we change? What do we have to learn to cope with? And what we need to figure out is this something that's right for me or right for us? And right now, I work in a call center. I handle insurance claims for a company for mobile phones. And that can get really stressful in and of its own. And then you have quota on top of that and other things thrown on that really, really begin to add to the stress. And suddenly it's not just about helping someone get their phone replaced. It's about being, pressured, inadvertently or not, to make sure you're achieving perfection. It's about dealing with daily customers, cussing you out, arguing with you about the price of of things. And, I got a lot of that in retail. I worked retail for the majority of my life, and I have, dealt with plenty of customers complaining about coupons or complaining about, well, the price tag said this, and, sending someone back and saying, well, someone put it in the wrong place. And then a lot of times we'd end up just honoring that price, but a lot of times we wouldn't, and we'd have to deal with that, and we'd get a lot of the people complaining to our managers, and, but when I was in that kind of situation, it rolled off my back more. Yeah, I'd complain about it. Yeah, it was annoying. Doesn't everyone who works in retail think that's annoying? But at the end of the day, it's fine. You go on and leave work at home and go home and have fun. I feel this is turning into a vlog about my work life. At the job I'm at now, I am feeling isolated. Even in a crowd of people, I work in a cubicle, so it's very one-on-one me with the customer. But I'm hearing everyone else's conversations, and there's music playing, so it can get to be a distracting, almost isolating way, and there's not really time between calls to really make a connection with anyone at work. Some people manage it and it's great, and I envy them because I see a lot of people, they sit down and they have lunch and they talk and they laugh, and they somehow manage to do that while we're on the phone. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just I can't find the balance between the work and social life there, which is the exact opposite of the job I had when I worked at Target. Yes, I worked at Target. That was fun, and honestly, that's only partially sarcastic. I have friends on my Facebook page that I'm still friends with, that I see regularly. I will sometimes go out of my way to go to the Target I used to work at just to say hi and playfully rib along with my friends who still work there. And I love that. I love, I have no hard feelings after I left Target for most of the people there. So I'm sure you noticed the light change. My wife came in the room for something, so I paused the video so I could answer a question, and I decided at that time I was going to open up my blinds, and wow, the difference in light is amazing. I don't look yellow anymore. But back to the subject of how I was feeling at work. So this is kind of turning into why I'm in work returns. I've been out of work for about almost just over a month. The first time I was out was for issues relating to a physical health, but that was caused by stress, which was caused by my job. And a lot of that was me coming to terms with, I think, maybe the fit isn't right. The place is a great place if it's a good fit for you. And there's a lot of people that it would be a great fit. But I'm thinking more and more that it may not be for me. And that's fine. I think there are some extenuating circumstances in my life that have happened. My mother passed away in February. That was about 3 months after I had started the job where I was working. So I was already having issues with, and they were always not counted against me because there was extenuating circumstances, but I was missing a lot of work to help my mom, to help my dad, to then handle the arrangements, and then take some time off to help my father. And then Dad just, especially during that first month, he just really, really needed me. So there were times where I was like, even when I had days off, I didn't have days off because I was helping my father. And it's still a lot like that, but we have those boundaries now. And there are times when I tell my dad, look, I need to take some time just for me, so I can't do anything today, but we'll do it tomorrow. Or my wife will go in my stead. Or, how about we bring Chris over for a little bit, and while we're out on our own, we'll run and get some stuff for you. And that's worked out really well. But then I still had the stress from work. And that's where I'm at today. And it's looking at that, and the more I talked about it, especially today, because we were talking about stress and we were talking about our jobs and how we felt in our current situation and how we wanted to feel. And the more and more I feel trapped. I'm feeling trapped at that job. And I don't want to be trapped. I want a job that, yes, I know is going to have stress, like retail. But I also want something that, at the same time, I can feel happy about. That I can at least love a little bit. And I want something that's more creative. I want something where I'm not working off just, like, I don't want to say script work is not creative, because hello, movies, but I want something that's not just me following and filling out a form, call after call after call, the same form, the same questions. There's no change. There's nothing really. Some policies might change. There might be some new things I can learn, but overall, the job is the same as the day that I started. I could go back tomorrow, and very little will have changed since I first started there. There may be different people. My hours may have changed again. My supervisor most likely has changed again. But overall, everything would still be the same. But when I was in retail, every day was different. There was always something different going on. There were new people to interact. There was, when you're even working as a cashier on those days when they needed backup, it was great because different people and different things, and starting a conversation about something that they bought that is something maybe I like. If they bought like a video game or a movie or even a food that I really liked or something that I had wanted to try, and I can go, oh, is this any good? And, it starts that little conversation that's more than small talk. It's still very, very, hi, how you doing? Say hi to the family. How's the weather? But it feels more personal. And that's what I liked about retail, is that there was ways of making those real connections. Where I'm working, they want us to keep our calls as short as possible without being rude, honestly. So, there's a chance to maybe ask how they're doing, or if we're waiting for my system to catch up, I may ask a question about the weather doing, but it's still very, very much the same every time. It's empathizing with what happened, but there's only so many things that can happen to mobile devices, so it's kind of like at this point, can honestly say I've probably heard it all. Nothing you say is going to surprise me of what might have happened to your mobile device. And I want something different. And as I've lost weight, I've built up, I feel my self-confidence, my self-esteem getting better, getting stronger. And that's when I started going, I want to do makeup. I want to do my makeup. I want to look pretty. And so I started doing my makeup. And I started experimenting. And I have become a bit of a makeup addict. I have bought 4 eyeshadow palettes within the last 4 weeks. do the math. And, I keep seeing things on YouTube channels that I'm like, oh, I have to try that, or, and I'm getting into skincare, and I've really fallen in love with the Korres line of products. I love the Greek yogurt foaming cleanser. It feels so nice, and my skin feels so fresh after I use it. Not sponsored, by the way, at all. I'm not sponsored by Korres. If you want to sponsor me, great. They're not. I have like 9 subscribers. I'm not expecting any sponsorships ever. But I love that brand. And I got my nails done. I bite my nails. But I want to stop. Because I love, like, nail art. And I love nail polish. But I've never had nails to put it on because I bite them almost to the quick. So I decided I was going to go to a nail salon, and get tips. I got acrylic tips, dip and pour, and I got this really pretty sparkly purple color, lavender color, and I'm in love with it, and I'm in love with the sound that I make when I tap on something, and I'm finding I'm doing this tapping more than biting my nails. Tapping's probably still not good for them, but it's better than biting them down till they bleed, which is what I'm going for. I do my hair wild and crazy colors because I love experimenting with hair color, and I love doing my hair and trying new things with it. And as I started really doing that, I realized this is kind of more what I want to do. It's creative, like I like to be. It's fun. And so I am seriously hoping within the next year or so to go to cosmetology school and get my license and be able to do makeup and hair, or maybe even just makeup. Makeup's my biggest interest. That's what I want to do the most. And I'm probably going to, as it gets closer to my release date or discharge date from work returns, I'm probably going to put in applications, send my resume into Sephora and Ulta, and even makeup counters in department stores like Macy's and Dillard's. Probably not Nordstrom, but maybe even Nordstrom's. Because I want to get that experience. I want to get that practice. Even if it's just starting as a cashier at Sephora or in the backstage stock room of Sephora. That gets me an in. That gets me a start. And it gets me out of where I'm at. And I think that's what needs to happen. Because right now, where I'm at, I shouldn't have panic attacks so bad that I have to make an appointment with my psychiatrist the next day, where I'm desperately trying to find a therapist where I'm not on a wait list. And unpack all this stuff. And, I'm still grieving. I don't know if I'll ever stop grieving. Because there are times, especially since I started Weight Watchers, where I'll sit there and I'll be 5 pounds down or 10 pounds down, and I'll be like, I gotta call Mom. And then realize that, no, I can't. I mean, I can tell my dad. I can tell my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law will get really excited for me and cheer me on, and my father will at least congratulate me if he doesn't give the same outwardly expression of support. But it's not the same. It's not the same of like when I would call my mom and say, I got a new job, or I'm pregnant. I'm not, but I can still remember calling my parents and telling them I was pregnant with my son. And the excitement they both felt about it. Just, my mother stayed with me for a month after I gave birth. I was living in Washington at the time. And she stayed with me for an entire month to help to teach me and to help me be the best mom that I could. And there's just so much that I want to be able to tell her. And there's so much that I just wish she was here for. And I'm glad she got to see Chris, my son, at least graduate from 5th grade into 6th grade, from elementary school into middle school. Yeah, I'm glad she got to see that, because she's not going to be there when he graduates high school. You know, she's not going to be there when he gets married. If he gets married. She's not going to be there for his first high school dance. She's not going to get excited for any auditions he does for acting or his orchestra recitals like she used to. Because she's gone. And that is honestly one of the biggest stressors in my life right now, is that the one person that has been there from day one and has been my biggest cheerleader my entire life isn't there. And wow, this turned into a therapy session for me. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this short before I start going way into psychiatrist's couch territory. So just wanted to talk about where I'm at. I guess I'm gonna call this Mental Health Wednesday today. Listen to me talk about my mental state. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me where you're at. You know, I know we may not know each other. Maybe we do. Maybe you're one of my family or friends who follows me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Links below. And, you know, follow the link to my video and watch my video. Maybe you're just someone who's dealing with the same things I am. And, you know, again, like I said in the very first video where I talked about my mental health, you are not alone. And that is the biggest thing I have learned in both of the group therapy treatments I have done, both the partial hospitalization and now at work returns, is that you are not alone. There is somebody who you can reach out to, even if it's a crisis hotline, even if it's through a comment on a YouTube channel or a Facebook post, even if it's to a friend or a family member you trust, anyone. There is someone there that wants to help you, that wants to see you see another day. I want to see you see another day. I want to see me see another day. I don't want to completely go off on the it gets better, because life is ups and downs. Yeah, it may get better. It may also at some point get worse. Let's not sugarcoat it here. Especially if you're like me and LGBT and maybe not living in a state that is very accepting. I live in Texas. I'll let that speak for itself. But there are people out there who have made it, and you can too. And sharing your story, maybe sharing my story, will be what helps one person make it through one more day. There have been songs, artists, YouTubers who have helped me get through some of the hard stuff when I needed to laugh, when I needed to forget what I was going through. Having YouTube was just something that really, really helped. Even though I wasn't doing videos at the time. You know, having Facebook and Twitter and ways to reach people helped in ways that I can't even begin to explain. I don't have a lot of friends in Texas. I do have some. Most of my friends are scattered across the four corners of the world at this point. You know, I have friends in Canada. I have friends in Florida, Arizona, California, Washington, Oregon. Oh, I could continue to list all the states. I have family in, Connecticut, Rhode Island. And, so for me, the internet has been a great way for me to keep social. To not just completely isolate, because at least there's someone I'm talking to, even if it's through Messenger. It's someone. And it's someone who knows me. Or maybe doesn't. But it doesn't matter because they were willing to listen. And that means the world. So again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you know when I upload my next videos. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and sometimes on the weekends. Friday will be my Friday Reads video. I'm still trying to finish the first book I wanted to read. That one's taking a little longer than I expected, but I will discuss that in Friday's video. So I am going to go ahead and go. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.